What's going on, everybody? This is Andre Taylor, and I have another guest that I'm interviewing, another small business owner for Small Business Week going on May 5th through the 11th. And I'm excited because that's who we love to service. That's who we want to shower with praise, appreciation. We want to honor them this week and beyond. It doesn't have to stop after this week. Again, I'm Andre, president of TaylorMade Solutions. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited because I have Miss Aubra Palermo of Century 21 affiliated with me on the video call. Aubra, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Andre?
I am excellent, excellent. Thank you. I know you're super busy, especially as being a realtor and everything else you got going on. So I'm going to cut straight to the chase. First question I have for you, Aubra, is tell us a little bit more about you, who you are, what you do, how you add value to people in your small business.
So I moved to Freeport in 1998, and I come from a marketing and retail background. And within the first week of moving to Freeport, I started working for a real estate company and worked in the behind the scenes of the real estate office and really found that I loved all the people and the challenge. And, it's sometimes some people say, well, it's always kind of the same thing. Well, in some ways it is, but every house is different. Every person is different. Every client's needs are different. So that really always gives it a new challenging thing all the time. So it's always something different. And I love it. I love Freeport, love the area, and just really, decided to make a home and make a career and a business here. So.
Absolutely. So do you service a specific niche as far as your real estate, or are you kind of all over?
Kind of all over because it's a small market, so I have a client buying a downtown building that has a multi-use, and I have another client who's buying a small commercial property, and then clients relocating, and so a little bit of everything. I kind of started a lot in relocation because I've moved around a lot myself. So I really had an understanding of what it was like to relocate into, to a new area. But really in Freeport, Stevenson County, really serving a little bit of everything. So.
Awesome, awesome. Love it. So becoming an entrepreneur or a small business owner, there's like a lot of risk involved. I mean, there's high reward, but there's
Mhm.
also very high risk. And so my next question is, why did you choose to go away from safety and that,
Right.
and lower risk environment into like taking on this challenge? Like, what kind of helped you make that transition earlier in your career?
Well, sometimes I think we all kind of get signs. I had naturally had some entrepreneurial feelings and desire, but I think sometimes we all just kind of have little different signs that maybe we don't pay attention to. And I'd had a couple of signs that was, okay, maybe you need to do this, or I wanted to do something a little different, as different than how some of the other brokers ran their office and ran their company, and how the training they offered or the lack of, and things like that. So I love to educate, I love to help. And so I really wanted to, build my team and build the company in a lot more technology, a lot more training, just a lot of different options that I didn't find out there when I was starting in real estate. So that really, I think, really was what kind of just kept driving me of, okay, this isn't here. Why aren't you just offering it and doing it? And it is a big risk. You take on debt, you take on, I'm working and not making money for myself. I was making money then for others, or helping them to make money. And so I was making less. And so it was, wait a minute, what am I doing here? I'm making less money and taking on debt. Hold on.
Yes, yes, I know that feeling. And I really like what you're saying because, well, one of the things that stood out is that you were saying, I seen a need.
Hmm.
I seen a need, I seen a gap, and I seen essentially like a problem. And so
Hmm.
you said, I want to be the solution to the
Hmm.
problem. I see where
Right.
I can come and add value and bridge that gap. So I love that. Thank you. My final question for you is, um, I want you to kind of do a little time travel. I want you to go back to like who you were in the past when you were just getting started, and it was all new and it may be a little scary. I don't know. What advice or wisdom would you share to your past self or to the person that's watching this and they're saying, I'm getting ready to get started on my new business endeavor. What's something that you think would be powerful to share with them?
Remember that you can't wear all hats. And don't be afraid to delegate, whether it's a virtual person, whether it's a local person, whether it's somebody part-time, full-time, really bringing in help. And in my industry, your first thought is, okay, well, I need to bring in other salespeople, right? You need other people, working, selling real estate, making contacts with clients. But actually, in all reality, it's bring in an assistant.
Hmm.
Because if you have an assistant, then you can free up your own time or your other salespeople's time to, to go out and do what they're doing before you start bringing in other salespeople. So some people think, it's kind of backwards. Well, I don't want to hire someone because that's more expense. But in all reality, typically you hire someone and you can more than double your own income because you then are freed up from doing a lot of the other minuscule tasks. And, really look at someone else's personality, hire someone who has strengths in the areas that you're not strong in, whether it's, paperwork details or making calls or, whatever that is. So really delegating, really just stop trying to do it all yourself, because we all want to do it ourselves. So,
Absolutely. I think you're talking to me like specifically, like, I,
right.
you know, that's very insightful, Aubra. I appreciate you sharing that. Again, you know, I'm sure you still deal with a lot of the challenges that a beginner would deal with, but you're much further along down the journey or down the path. And I think that is sage advice to get back. I'm actually newer, you know what I mean? I'm a
Mhm.
few years in or whatever, but still, how many years are you in now?
20 years. I started in a
20
real
years.
estate office 21 years ago and got licensed 20 years ago. So it's
Absolutely.
been a long time.
Yes, yes. So I'm like I'm receiving from you, okay,
Yeah.
on this call, and that's so awesome because I think I catch myself in that place personally. Like, I
Hmm.
feel like I got to wear every hat, I got to do everything. And right, it's so important to have other people that will help you, or you can delegate to, right, to free you up to be awesome in what you're really good at, right?
Right, right. And really focus on what you're good at, because that will bring you more income. That will bring your business to the next level. But and when you stop and start struggling trying to do all those other things, you then neglect some of the things that you're really good at. Because let's face it, there's still only so many hours in the day, and
Yeah.
we can't invent more time. So, and I know, like I said, I know it's a big scare, well, I don't want to hire someone. Well, a lot of times, especially today, there's a lot of virtual options out there. Maybe you can
Hmm.
hire somebody to do a little bit of this for you or a little bit of this for you, that's, a couple hours a day, and not really hiring someone, full time truly. Or you go to one of the staffing companies and get somebody that, could just do part time, or a college student even, working on interning, or, something like that. So there are a lot of options out there.
Awesome. Wow. Powerful. That's powerful to me. Like, I don't care if nobody else got
Hey,
anything. I got something from this, okay?
hey.
That's really good stuff. That's really good information. Thank you again. So before I let you go, uh, there's other people again that will be watching this, and they say, "Hey, Aubra seems like an awesome person. I want to meet her. I want to maybe work with her. Maybe I want to hire her. I don't know. What's the best way for them to go about getting in contact with you?"
Well, online, you can reach me anywhere at Aubra Realtor, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, website, all Aubra Realtor, or aubra-realtor.com, all of that. Cell phone, you can text or call 815-275-6610. And just, I'm free to answer questions at any time. You've got questions about real estate, got questions about the real estate market, questions about just, I'm thinking maybe in a couple years I'm going to sell. Just, glad to always answer questions and help and give advice.
Awesome, awesome. I'm so excited to celebrate Small Business Week with you, Arbra, to lift you up and just give you honor. We appreciate what you do, all that you've been doing. I know there's a lot of sacrifice, there was a lot of hard work. You employ people, like what you do matters. So again, Arbra Palermo of Century 21 affiliated. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Andre, and I really appreciate all you're doing, and wishing you all the best, because I know these first couple of years are the hardest, and you're making it past that hurdle. So it's a huge, huge step.
Absolutely. Thank you.